Hi everyone, it's BDevine and welcome to Divine Miracles and the mini tarot forecast this week for the earth signs. So that's Capricorn, Taurus and Virgo. And I'm also going to do like a quick message for the month in with this as well. I do apologize about the noise. I live on a main street at the moment and it's peak hour, so there we go. So I'm using the Cairo Marchetti Gateway of the Divine Tarot this month because of the interesting images that I get from it. And we'll see what's coming up. So I'm going to start with Capricorn and we will move along. Now, some of these are all a little bit jumbled up, but I haven't purposely put any reversals in there. It's just the way it is. Okay. So here we go, starting with Capricorn. Let's see what message is coming up for this week and also for your month ahead. Okay. All right, so we got the 5 of coins and this is for your week ahead, okay, for Capricorn. But also for the month ahead, we've got the 3 of Cups, okay? So that makes a lot of sense here now to me. Okay, so the 5 of coins, as you can see, the person doesn't look very happy. The person looks like, oh, please help me, give me something, you know. So you're waiting for something to come through, and perhaps you've been in a predicament in your life where you've just been paying more bills than you've been receiving the income to support. But I'm feeling, because we're seeing this now, and I often say this in my messages to people, but if we're seeing something that may be on some sort of negative scale right now, that means that you're already going through this, or you're already aware of what this is. It's not something new for you. It's not like all of a sudden it's coming up. This is something that you've been dealing with, which means you're nearly at the other side of it as well. Because I can see with the 3 of Cups being your card for the month, that you're going to have a lot of things to celebrate. So even though you're at this stage at the moment where everything seems to be going wrong and everything seems to be, it's been difficult times financially, and you've been waiting on, the answers to things as well, and someone's not answering you about a situation regarding money too, and it's very, very frustrating. So you're being given, this chance now to see whether you're going to actually assert yourself or stand up for yourself, or whether you're going to sort of just allow this thing to happen. The feeling here is that you're not going to allow people to walk all over you, and that you're going to find a solution to your current difficulties. But one thing that may be going on is that you don't expect anything to change. So just for this week, I want you to practice each day saying, I expect good things in my life. Even if that's not the case, even if things aren't happening for you, just say it to yourself, because you're creating a tone to the universe, and the universe needs to deliver that tone. Okay, so whatever we're saying out there, we're receiving an answer, and we see that by the things that we seem to struggle with. We keep saying, oh my God, my life is terrible, and things keep happening. Or we say, oh, I keep getting bills, and we keep getting bills. So let's change it and say, I expect good things to happen. I expect miracles to occur. I give thanks for these things in my life, and see how this shifts. Now you have to do it, try to do it consciously for a week, and do it in that way, and it really creates a habit for you. It creates you going into that space of having instead of lack, and we want to be in that abundant state all the time. And the 3 of Cups is saying here that then you'll be able to celebrate. Things are going to shift, and sometimes things can get really bad and you just don't know how you're going to get out of it. And because it's gotten that bad, the only way is up now. You get to a point where everything's down, and then suddenly it's just going up in a different direction. Try not to keep yourself in that downward spiral though. See things for what they are on a surface level, as challenges that you need to overcome, not punishment for things that you may have done 20 years ago. Okay. So hopefully this helps you, and know that you are really, really deserving of the best in life, and a really, really positive outlook is all that you need, even when things are going wrong. And I know this. And also to make sure that you're just focusing on sending out some healing energy too. Sometimes when we get aches and pains and things going on in our body, it's a build-up of our own healing energy, and we just need to release that as well. So I'm just letting you know, just put your hands out, saying I'm now releasing some healing energy into the earth. Even if you don't have anyone specific to give it to, you can release it in that way, and you'll start to feel lighter within yourself as well, which allows you to think clearly. And then when you can think clearly, then all things start to take place in your life as well. Okay, so that was for Capricorn. And now Taurus message. Alright, I always got to try to really keep myself detached, because some people say, oh, were you thinking about me when you did that? And it's like, no, because I know too many people and I'd be all confused. So I keep detached, and that way you get a better message. Okay, so here we go, Taurus. Now I'm going to do something for this week, and also a theme kind of, whoa, that must be for this week. Oh, that's a good card. The Sun. Okay, for this week. And a theme for the month for Taurus. Okay, and the Three of Wands, which is also really good. And you can see in each of these pictures, there's someone just standing there. Look, it's very, very similar. Oops, see that? Okay, that's you. That's you standing there. Okay, so the Sun. Okay, now the Sun indicates always that something really awesome is about to happen. It doesn't matter when we see the Sun card come up in a spread. It's like, oh, it's like a relief. Things are changing. Things you're growing within yourself. And there have been many things that have been really out of balance lately. And it's not just the Taurus signs. This is for everybody. But when Taurus is out of balance, it makes everything more difficult in your life. It's even normal, simple, everyday thoughts are more difficult for you, because when things are really out of balance, it starts to bring in an inner panic, like within you. It may not even be something that you're totally aware of, because it's been there for so long. But you get to a point where, things get a little bit too much, and then there's this balance issue, and then, you start to get all over the place with everything, and it makes it difficult for you to think straight. Things go, words get said, things get done differently, things that you wouldn't even dream of, it starts coming out. But with the Sun in place in your life at the moment, it's like you've overcome a massive section of who you are, and you've decided on a different pathway, and because you're deciding on this pathway, you're starting to bring in all of the support and the resources and the education that you need to get to where you want to be. There's still going to be a tendency to worry or find yourself concerned, but because you've turned into this part of your life, it's going to be so much easier for you to deal with all those things. It's going to bring you more into balance, and when you're in that balance and you're feeling good about yourself and you're being creative and you're doing all of those things, then you're naturally in a happier state. And when you're happier, then people around you are naturally happier as well. It's just how it works. If we're grumpy, guaranteed we're going to make someone else pretty grumpy pretty quickly, and it just goes on, it just rolls on from there. But you're being given some very special gifts at the moment, and don't doubt yourself anymore and go over things and overthink things and need reassurance of things. You just have to stand alone, and this is what the message for you is with the Sun, is stand alone and stand your ground in what you want to do, And don't let anybody or anything stop you from that anymore. Not your own self-doubts, not your own worries, not your own fears, not what other people are going to think, not what, you know, your reputation is or what people think you are. Be your authentic self. And the more that you can do that, the stronger that you'll get in that authenticness, you know, and you're never going to let yourself go back to an old way of being, because you know where you need to be to survive. You know what makes you happier. You know what makes you feel at peace. And it's certainly not when you're unbalanced, you know. So along with the sun, for the month it's even showing that you have a lot of things in front of you to look forward to, that you've created some solid foundations, that life is not the same at the moment as it was last year, this time last year. You know, it's completely different than it was this time last year. You're not going to understand all the different changes that have been made or why people have done what they've done. But you can't worry about that because your focus is far too important. Where you want to be is going to be so much more abundant and happier than you can even imagine at this moment if you allow yourself to be that way. But if you allow yourself to get pulled back into the old ways of things, then those people that want you there will win. You know, because they want you how they want you, not what you're becoming. This could be family members as well, or friends, or whatever. People that you have felt responsible for in the past, okay? Now you must see that even in this card here, in both of these cards, you're doing something for yourself. It doesn't matter about anybody else, that you're doing this for yourself, and that you're doing it because you want things to be better in your life. You want things to change in your life. You don't want to be going through the same cycles. Okay, so break the cycle this month. Really focus on the next 5 to 10 years, how you see yourself. You know, is it going to be in the same position you've always been in, or is it going to show people how amazing that you are without, you know, falling back into old ways of or systems of belief or anything like that, that you're doing everything differently, that you're doing it from the heart and you're doing it out of enjoyment. And anybody that doesn't like it will probably leave your sphere, and that's okay, because you're going to find people that are very supportive of what you're doing. And you probably wouldn't find that if you kept on doing the same old things. Okay, so the choice is yours at the moment. You're being given a very big choice to make. Always follow your heart. It will always lead you in the right direction. Okay, so that's the message for Taurus. And now for Virgo. So let's see. Hopefully you guys can understand that one. Anyway, let's see. Virgo. Okay, Virgo. The 7 of Wands. Have a look at that one. Okay. And for this month, the Knight of Swords. Okay. All right. So the 7 of Wands indicates a time of real transition in your life. Things, you know, changing, but that there's been struggle to get there. So perhaps that's what you've been going through over the last couple of months, is sort of working yourself out and going through a bit of struggles. But I'm also feeling here that there's a lot of influence on the past for you. So there's a lot of things that you constantly think of that you can't really do anything about. And I feel that there's a situation of misunderstanding, or a situation where you've actually done something. This is just for some people. It may be that you've said something that you shouldn't have said, and you know, done this and followed through with it, and it's caused all kind of problems for you, you know. And you're sitting there thinking to yourself, what did I even say that for? And what am I going to do now? The biggest lesson here is to not try to create another story to get out of it. Okay? Just admit it. and say to yourself, you know what, I was wrong in doing that. You may not be able to explain to other people, I was wrong in doing that, but for some reason, you know, I needed to speak out. I needed to say that. I needed to get it off my chest. And yes, maybe I've said it in the wrong way, or I've accused people of things that I didn't mean to, but I have to move on from it. Maybe subconsciously, this was your way of completely severing ties with someone or something, and maybe that's going to be something that allows you to grow, something that is of benefit to you. Now, it may not feel like it at the beginning, but it will be of benefit to you. You're going to learn a lot from this situation, and you're going to lift and move forward, okay? The biggest lesson here is to don't do that same thing twice. You know, we can all make mistakes, and you know, we can all do things in the wrong way, and we can all, you know, have problems and whatever. If we keep repeating things in the same way, we're not really learning from those mistakes. Okay, and they no longer become mistakes either, you know, and it gets a little bit nasty. So the Seven of Wands is saying to you, for one, be true to yourself. Two, if you've said or done the wrong thing, let it go, and let it go, because you obviously wanted something to finish, or you wouldn't have said what you'd said. Maybe later on down the track, you're going to have a chance to be able to speak up, or say something else, or say sorry. But at the moment, you're going to have to live with some of the decisions that you've made and be okay with that. Sometimes things happen, as I said, out of the blue, and you haven't meant to say what you've said, but it's happened anyway. And those are there because that was meant to be, you know. I was talking to a friend of mine, for example, and sent a message to someone that I wasn't meant to send a message to. And obviously it didn't go down too well, right? But something in me needed that to leave, okay? Or it wouldn't have happened like that. Don't beat yourself up from the past. Don't live in the past. Don't live in the past because you're not going in that direction. You know, even if there's all kinds of things that have happened and they're still affecting you now, there's nothing that you can do to change the things that have happened in the past. The only thing that we can do is create a more brilliant future from the things we've learned here. Be careful of manipulation, either being manipulated or trying to manipulate someone. The word manipulation is in there. Be very careful of that, because there's something about getting found out, or the truth coming out, that may not be to everybody's liking. But in this whole case, you've got the Knight of Swords here too, which indicates that someone comes into your life very quickly, helps you to get through a situation, and then moves on out as well. Okay? So maybe you've been relying on the information off of somebody else. You've been listening to this information, and suddenly that person is gone, and you're like, what was all that about then? You know, be careful of listening to gossip. Be careful of listening to manipulation, or people have said this, people said that. Move away from it. This is basically telling you that there is a situation in your life, maybe it's already here, or maybe it's on its way, that you need to be careful that you're not listening to gossip. Okay, that you're not listening to the negative sides of somebody, and that you're actually listening to what your first instincts say. It's just really important for you, and that's the messages that are coming up. Other than that, on a positive note, there's new creative insight. So, you know, this is a theme, it seems, for everybody for the month of April. There's this new creativity brewing within you. So go in that direction of creativity, because it stops your mind from just overthinking, you know, things too much. Okay, so that's the messages for Virgo. Hopefully you'll enjoy those and understand what is meant. Remember that there are no real mistakes, you know, at all. Things happen always to give us experience. It's not for lessons, it's not for punishment. I think it's more the word experience. But learn from those experiences. And if you didn't like things that had happened in the past, don't repeat them, you know. And this could also mean, on another note, that someone else who's been manipulative or dangerous in some way is also going to be found out for that, okay? Because there's a real revelation here in this card. Well, in both of them. So thank you so much for listening, and head over to my Facebook or my website, because there is going to be some specials going on for Easter, and also receive 6 weeks of my mentoring program and only pay for 4 weeks. And the mentoring program goes much longer than 6 weeks, but it's just very intensive for those 6 weeks. So hopefully some of you will enjoy that and come and have a little bit of a see what that's like. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. But until the next time, thank you very much. Have an awesome week and month, and you will see me very, very soon. Bye.